Hey, one awesome community. This is episode 332. I want to talk to you today about crickets. Are you hearing crickets? My friend and I were having a discussion at 1 Million Cups this morning about just things that go on in business. Now, for 14 years, I've been a relationship marketing specialist, teaching people the power of sending something as simple as a thank you card, staying in touch, being personal with your customers, with your clients, with your prospects. This is just a given to me in business. And we're standing there talking, and she's one of my card senders, and I made some comment about a situation where somebody wanted to get with me about the cards, but our communications just weren't happening. And she shared with me the same thing, that she's waiting for confirmation on some appointments. And when she doesn't get those confirmations, guess what? It's a Dominos Effect. And I totally relate to that. In the 14 years I've been doing my relationship marketing, I can help people with sending a card or a gift, but I've never been able to figure out how to stop hearing crickets. How many times have you sent someone an email? They've asked you for information. You've sent them an email and they never respond. And then 2 months later, they're asking you the same question that you answered 2 months before. You answer again and again. You get crickets. You don't know if they've read it. You don't know if they've received it. Same thing with Messenger. They say that's the best way to reach people. Messenger and texting. I like those two forms. I can do that. If that's your preference, I will do that. But again, I get the crickets. I had someone want to make an appointment with me, but they were stuck. They had to wait for those confirmations they were having in limbo before they could make that appointment with me. I get it. When I have that same situation, I am like stuck. And so I've gotten to the habit of saying, if I haven't heard from you by so-and-so date, I will have to move forward with this, filling this spot up, because I can't hold all my spots up for someone that doesn't reply. So for me, I tell people in my message, as of now, this is when I'm available. Hope to hear from you soon. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had to move on because I hadn't heard from that person, and then it happens every time. The minute I give up that time frame, they respond, oh yeah, I can do that. Well, hello. I didn't hear from you. I couldn't wait for you. You know, people put into their advertising different things to get people to act right now. Urgent, special offering, time sensitive. It's like we almost have to do that with our own communications. But I got to ask you, I don't know if you're someone that hears crickets or populates crickets. I don't know. But here's what I want to ask you. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer people that respond to you in a timely fashion? Are you okay with hearing crickets and just figure, well, they're busy? Or you're so busy that it's okay for you to ignore sending a response? Communications, as we know it, have been fractured ever since our iPhones have shown up. People are so focused on so many other things. They're texting, they're taking photos, they're on Facebook, they're on Pinterest, they're on Instagram. We're communicating in different ways with visual images and postings and what have you. But when it comes to personally connecting, that's how you really do business. All those likes and shares, are they getting you business? Are people responding to you just at that moment? Or are you fortunate enough to get them to respond to you by communicating back and forth? I have several pieces right now out in limbo. I don't understand it. I grew up in a business with my parents. I took business college. I went to business college. To me, business etiquette is you respond as quickly as you possibly can. I have people on their messenger that says typically responds within this time frame. And Facebook monitors how quickly you do respond. But how many times have you sat there and nothing but crickets? That typical time has not happened yet for you. Hello, again. So my friend and I were standing there talking about, and we just don't understand it. Why would you not take a minute to confirm that you have an appointment, that you can't make that appointment, or you're no longer interested? That really doesn't take a whole lot of time. But what happens is for those of us that are waiting for that response, and let's say you got a huge deal on the table, and you put a proposal out there, and you put it on that proposal, let's conclude this transaction by a certain date. You know they're interested, you know they want it, they asked you to do the proposal, and you don't hear, and you don't hear. What do? Well, you become a stalker. I have a situation where when I got into this new company, I immediately reached out to someone that had been using my other business, that had been at one time using it all the time, but because of changes, she just didn't feel comfortable using it anymore. So I reached out to her. She was so excited about what I had to tell her, what I could do for her, how the prices were better, all this stuff. Send me a card, do this, and I'll get you in front of the head guy that created the business, and not just one business, several businesses. I had a great conversation. I sent her a card, sent her brownies, nothing. I sent an email, nothing. I sent a message, nothing. I left voicemails, nothing. I have no clues. I am clueless. And I've stopped stalking. And the last thing I sent her was, I just hope you're okay. I haven't heard from you for so long, I'm worried, which I am. So I went to her business page, and she's still working for the company. I know she's busy, but when I called her before, she answered the phone right away. So what's changed? I don't know. But I have to change my behavior. Obviously, she's no longer interested, and for whatever reason doesn't want to tell me. I would rather her just tell me, hey, Gail, I took a look at it, just not interested, thank you, but no thank you. That I would prefer over just the limbo. Because I want to do business with people that want to do business with me. I don't want to be a stalker. I don't want to be called the follow-up queen, which I have been when I was selling advertising. It was constant. I had to be constantly on people to get the ad copy, to get the confirmation of the dates they wanted, because I was responsible to someone else. The publication was someone else's. The advertisers were the people I dealt with. I was obligated to fulfill my responsibility to the gentleman that was paying me for my services. So I had to be a stalker. But this is my business that I knew now, so I don't have to be that person. But at the same time, I feel like, well, man, they wanted to know. I gave them all the information. I sat down and spent an hour with them. I sent them a card afterwards thanking them for their time. They loved the program. They loved the prices. They couldn't wait to get started. But nothing. What's changed? Or someone signs up for an account and they don't do anything. I don't understand that either. Have anybody, I told you, my tongue is sort of screwy today, or maybe I didn't tell you, but my tongue is sort of screwy today. I mentioned the word abbreviation today that was totally wrong when somebody repeated it back to me. I'm like, okay, gotta get the articulation going. Today was my early morning. I rarely go to a meeting at 8:30 in the morning, but 1 Million Cups is at 8:30 in the morning. So that's, my tongue still isn't ready because I started too early today. But anyway, I just don't know what the solution is to getting people to respond in a timely fashion so they don't hold your world up. I mean, let me ask you, do you ever send someone a contract that they've asked you to send? And you got this whole project created for them? And all you need is that signature? Is it just me, or does it drive you absolutely crazy? It drives me nuts. So I just had to talk about the fact that our society has created fields and fields of crickets. And I really think it's a matter of respecting yourself as a business person and the person that you are in contact or not in contact with. Because that makes a big difference in moving on with a business relationship. Personal relationships. How many times has a friend texted you and said, hey, let's go do this? And you say, yeah, let's do it. What time, where? And nothing. You see the little dots going, but it doesn't formulate into a message. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to me to deal with someone that comes across very sincere. We have real connections. I really like the person. And they reach out to me and they get involved in some things. And then I follow up with them. And there's nothing. And I don't understand that. To me, I'd rather have an explanation. I'd rather give an explanation than to just let nothing, silence or crickets, just take over the airspace. And so I just wanted to come on here and tell you that that was our conversation this morning. And it just made me realize that her and I aren't the only ones dealing with this. It's a phenomena that's been going on for a long time. People don't return phone calls. They don't return texts. They don't return messages. They don't return letters. They don't do nothing. How do you do business that way? Because here's my feelings. If you're somebody I have to go back and forth with, guess what? I will eventually stop. Because I don't want to be a stalker. And so then when you reach out to me 6 months later, I don't know if I'm going to be ready to do business with you. So if you're that person that doesn't respond and you want to do business with someone, then respond back to them. It's like playing pickleball. It's like playing tennis. What do you got to do? You're on the court. Return the ball. Ball's in your court. I can't tell you how many times I played phone tag with someone and went back and forth 6 or 7 calls. But we batted the ball back and forth. Today in this business world, there's a lot of competition out there. If you want to stand out from your competition, I always tell people send a thank you card. But I'm also going to tell you, please, please respond back to them in whatever method they responded to you. If they text you, text them back. If they emailed you, email them back. If they message you, message you back. If they sent you a letter, however they came to you in their communication, return back to them in the same way. You will start having better business relationships, get more businesses, and keep your business. That's the way I see it. And I've been doing this stuff for 14 years. And long before that, when I was selling advertising and timeshare, it's always the same. It's just good business practice to be responsible, to get back to someone, not make them chase you. Be the best steward of your business that you can be. It just takes a couple minutes. And with that said, I want to remind you that you can find me at heycardlady.com so you can take advantage of sending a thank you card, which is very simple. You go online, click, put all the information, click send, and we do the rest. And the rest is passing out a smile, because that's what you get, is a lot of smiles. Just check my Facebook page. You'll see all the smiles I get. So with that said, I'm going to toodaloos down the road, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.